A crucial meeting of the core committee on the Naga political issue is currently underway in Nagaland capital Kohima. The crucial meeting is being attended by all core committee members except for NPF's Kuzoluzo Nenu, who is currently in New Delhi. And this is the first meeting of the core committee headed by Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu after the fresh deadlock in talks following the May 31st resolution adopted by the NSCN-IM, an emergency National Assembly, that there can be no solution unless the Government of India agrees to its demand for a separate flag and constitution. And earlier, highly placed sources within the core committee have told Northeast Live that this meeting is extremely crucial as it aims to chalk out the next course of action on how to facilitate the resumption of talks between the NSCN-IM and the Government of India. It may be mentioned here that the priority for the Government of India as well as for the core committee at the moment is to ensure the resumption of peace talks at the earliest. So yes, viewers, concerted efforts underway to break the fresh deadlock in the Naga peace process. Of course, the fresh deadlock came into being after the May 31st resolution that was adopted by the NSCN-IM Emergency National Assembly, which of course it's demanded that if the Government of India of course does not heed to their demand for a separate flag and constitution, there can be no solution. And it is to break this very deadlock that this crucial meeting of the core committee of the Naga Peace Talks is currently underway in Kohima at this point in time. The main agenda for this crucial meeting of the core committee, of course, is to ensure that the talks, that the Naga peace process in particular, is resumed at the earliest. And of course, they are going to chalk out ways and means and also try to work out a roadmap as to how this fresh deadlock in the Naga peace process between the NSCN-IM and the Government of India can be broken. And of course, as per the inputs, all core committee members are present at this very crucial meeting except for the NPF's Kuzoluzo Nenu, who is currently in the national capital. All right, I am now joined over the phone line by my colleague Sarah Konyak joining me from Kohima. In fact, as we can see, Sarah Konyak joining us live from Kohima at this point in time. Sarah, if you can hear me, very crucial meeting of the core committee currently underway in Kohima. The main agenda, the only agenda, of course, is to ensure how to ensure the resumption of talks between the Government of India and the NSCN-IM at the earliest. What more can you tell us regarding this very crucial meeting, Sarah?
Yes, absolutely, Ronak. Like you have rightly stated, the meeting of the core committee on the Indo-Naga political issue began an hour. It's been almost an hour since the meeting had begun. I'm right now standing outside the Chief Minister's residential, where the meeting is underway currently. Well, today's meeting is being seen as very crucial as the core committee is having a sitting today after almost a month following the May 31st resolution adopted by the NSCN-IM leaders, where they have made their stand very clear that they will not accept the offer of the Government of India on a separate flag and a constitution. What we have been made to understand is that the NSCN-IM have stated that the resolution which was adopted on May 31st was on the basis of the framework agreement, and sources have informed us that the NSCN-IM have conveyed to a certain section of the civil society organizations their position very clear that they will not resume talks unless and until the talks are on the in line as per the framework agreement which was signed on August 3rd, 2015. Now, this is going to be a very crucial time for the Nagas, as it's going to be almost a month since the Government of India and the NSCN-IM had any communication. There is no communication between the two negotiating parties, and to what people are seeing is that there needs to be intervention from a third party between the two negotiators, or else talks is likely not to resume anytime soon. As per our sources, Ronak, what we have also learned is that a certain section of the civil society organization have mooted the idea for a third-party intervention, like as in like observers, so that there can be a smooth sailing of the peace talks. However, this idea has been conveyed to the NSCN-IM leadership, and a closest source to the IM have informed your channel that the NSCN-IM leaders will also be having a discussion questioned on the idea of these third-party observers to be a part of the peace talks. Ronak.
Right. So, Sarah, this does come indeed as a very interesting proposal in order to break the deadlock in the Naga Peace Talks. So, what are your sources telling you about how the NSCN-IM is taking to this proposal? How are they reacting to this fresh proposal in how to break the deadlock, Sarah?
Well, yes, all the stakeholders and both the negotiating parties are working out every way possible to ensure that there is a smooth sailing of the talks. However, the NSCN-IM have made their stand very clear on a separate flag and a constitution. Now, in the last 1 month, we have seen a civil society organization making their move forward to try and break the deadlock between the two negotiating parties. It has been an appeal from all the sections of the people to both the negotiating parties to resume talks, so that there can be a logical conclusion to this long-pending issue. But first of all, there needs to be a breakthrough on the issue of a separate flag and constitution. Now the NSCN-IM have clearly stated in their recent press statements as well that the ball is now in the court of the government of India, while some civil society organization have also questioned on the sincerity of the government of India in resolving this Naga issue. Now, if we look into it, the Global Naga Forum has already met the NEDA convener and Assam Chief Minister, seeking for his intervention to convey certain points to the government of India in order for both the parties to come to a logical conclusion. And as well as the Nagaland Gaon Bura Federation had also had a meeting with all the tribal apex bodies just last month in Dimapur, where they have formed a political committee. However, the formation of this committee is yet to be confirmed from the NGBF side, where they have decided to intervene in order to bring both the parties together. And now with the core committee having a sitting today after almost a month, we cannot assure what step next the stakeholders will be taking in order to bring these two parties together. However, what we can say right now is that the core committee and the stakeholders all are trying to come up with a roadmap to give the final push so that the talks can be resumed and that there is a solution to this long pending issue.